So why these improvements? You'll see this picture of a young man riding down the side of a mountain. You'll notice that in order for him to take the bumps, absorb the action of the bicycle against the rocks, his muscles have to respond, his joints have to respond, and he has to maintain balance. And so vibrations coming up from the rocks into the bicycle are dealt with by the body's musculature, tendons, neuromusculature, bones, etc. Now, the neuromuscular reaction is one of the most important things about whole body vibration. It's causing your brain to respond. And the more we practice response to vibration and movements, the better our balance becomes and the stronger we become. So the vibration absorption actually causes your muscles to twitch. When you're standing in a gym, working out, let's say with some free weights, you're using 20 to 30% of your muscles. When you're standing on a vibrating platform, depending on speed of course, you use up to 80 to 90% of your muscles. They're all twitching, they're all functioning, they're maintaining balance, and they're responding to the mobility of the platform. You obviously get a cardiovascular response. This young man riding down the side of the mountain has to have his heart beat faster in order to respond to the increased muscle flow, muscle tone, and muscle reaction to the bumps, and therefore increased cardio response takes place. And that same thing happens when you're using a whole body vibration machine. And obviously, because the muscles are being used, there's a greater oxygen demand as well, and the same takes place on a machine. Okay, you'll notice that this skier is absorbing massive vibrational forces. In my studio, I have a linear machine for athletes, and there's a rotational platform on the machine that they can stand on to simulate turning their skis while absorbing the bumps from the machine. And this dramatically strengthens the muscles of the thighs and the core and hamstrings and buttocks for these professional sportsmen. Tennis players absorb vibrations all the time. Every time they hit a ball, every time they hit the ground or move across the court, their legs meet the ground and they have to absorb vibration. So sportsmen and women really benefit from the use of whole body vibration machines. There are lots of tissues affected by force and vibration. You'll notice the picture of the knee, and you'll see the blue structures. There are cartilage, and those cartilages have to absorb the vibration between the tibia, in this case, and the femur and the patella. And the ligaments which hold your knee together respond to vibration. So every time you use a whole body vibration machine, you're stimulating those tissues. Again, the hip joints, and you can see the difference between an osteoporotic and a normal hip joint. Hip joints always absorb vibrations through the pelvis. The muscles of your feet and the muscles of your gluteal, thighs, and hamstrings, etc., are constantly absorbing vibrations. And all of those muscles and structures are stimulated when using whole body vibration. From my perspective as a chiropractor, I want to see all my patients develop very, very strong cores, because the core strength is so important to maintaining good spinal integrity. As a matter of fact, your core is the center of everything. Your arms and your shoulders need a good core for those muscles that make your arms and shoulders function to be anchored to. Your legs, of course, all those muscles are anchored to your core. So if you have a strong core, you have a strong anchor, and from which all the other muscles can function correctly. And I've found that whole body vibration is the fastest and best way to train your core. But you have to use a special group of exercise that I've devised, which you will see on other videos that I do. Here are some pictures of the core muscles, front and back. You can see it's a vast structure that wraps right around you. I call it your container. and within a few short weeks you'll tighten that container and tone it dramatically if you use the right exercises. Other tissues affected by whole body vibration are the ligaments that hold your pelvis together. And those ligaments are called the sacroiliac ligaments and iliolumbar ligaments, and most of the ligaments that as chiropractors we deal with every day, because when they get strained they cause a tremendous amount of pain. And the structures that support your ligaments are your muscles, especially the muscles of your core. So if we can strengthen the core muscles to absorb the vibrations, then the ligaments can do their job, which is to intimately connect the bones together and reduce the range of motion. But the muscles actually support the ligaments in their job to increase their integrity and function.